Hello everyone, today our group is going to present the implementation of the Goods and Service Tax and impact toward Malaysia nation. And first and foremost, we are pleased to invite Dato Seri Najib to announce the implementation of the Goods and Service Tax GST.
Berasaskan prinsip mendahulukan rakyat, kerajaan dengan ini memutuskan supaya satu sistem pencukaian menyeluruh dan saksama perlu segera dilaksanakan bagi manfaat seluruh rakyat Malaysia. Sehubungan itu, kerajaan mencadangkan cukai jualan dan cukai perkhidmatan atau sales tax and services tax dimansuhkan. Dua cukai yang dimansuhkan ini pula akan digantikan dengan satu cukai saja yang dikenali dengan cukai barang dan perkhidmatan atau Goods and Services Tax atau GST. Ringkasnya perlu saya tegaskan bahawa GST bukanlah cukai tambahan baru. Realitinya, kadar inflasi kini adalah pada tahap yang rendah di paras 2%. Kerajaan yakin inilah masa yang terbaik untuk melaksanakan GST kerana kadar inflasi adalah minimum dan terkawal.
Malaysia saw the implementation of the Goods and Service Tax on 1st of April 2015 under the leadership of Malaysian Prime Minister have a tax reform program in order to enhance the effectiveness, capability and transparency of tax administration and management. The Goods and Service Tax is a value-added consumption tax in Malaysia that is imposed on goods and services at every single production and distribution stage of the supply chain. The current standard GST rate in Malaysia, effective from 1st April 2015, is 6%. The GST had replaced the prevailing sales and service tax of between 5 until 15%. The SST had the issues of cascading tax, double tax, tax erosion and pyramiding tax, where GST increase tax compliance and make it easier to administer the self-policing method.
Goods and Services Tax is a consumerism tax based on added value concept at each level in the supply chain, from production to consumer. It is imposed on goods and services at every level of production and distribution in the supply chain, including export goods and services, while service tax SST is only imposed on certain services when offered to the consumer. Basically, GST tax system is more transparent, efficient, effective, and business friendly. With GST, consumers know the real deal and there is only one standard rate at 6%. Sales tax rates, however, may vary from 5%, 10% to a specific rate. Manufacturers and distributors normally do not show their SST tax rate other of the 6% service tax. Consumers are in the dark about tax value in transfer pricing.
Hi, give me a hot latte.
Now, one hot latte, right? 10 ringgit 60 cents.
60 cents.
Thank you.
Eh? What is this 6% of charge?
This is GST. This is standard rated GST. It's 6% charge on the goods.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you.
they are treated of GST. First, standard rated GST is 6% GST on final price. Goods that involve are household item, utensil, clothing and accessories. But how does it work? Goods and service in this category will be charged a tax rate of 6% at every stage of the supply chain. Every party except the final consumer can claim back credit on the GST they already paid. Second, zero-rated GST is 0% GST on final price. Goods that involve are basic food item, unprocessed food item, most education material, which it means that goods and service in this category will be charged a GST rate of 0%. This means that GST is not charged to the final consumer, but businesses can claim back credit on their input tax. Lastly, exempt-rated GST is not GST cost to consumer. Goods that involve such as residential property and healthcare. In other words, goods and service in this category will be non-taxable and are not subject to GST. The final party in the supply chains can claim back credit on their input tax even if they might have incurred it.
The implementation of GST has brought some impact towards Malaysia nation. First of all, GST increased the cost of living and decreasing the standard of living. For example, since the goods and service tax GST was implemented in April, salaries have not been rising as fast as cost of living, which causes some Malaysians facing some difficulties to support themselves. The minimum wage in Malaysia is 900 ringgit. However, the median monthly household income in Malaysia was 4 ringgit. High cost of living will lead to decreasing standard of living. The implementation of GST also increased the Malaysia's gross domestic product, which is GDP. GDP measures of national income and output for a given country's economy. The implementation of GST helps to increasing profitability in business, which subsequently helps GDP and investment growth. Lastly, the implementation of GST also reduced the numbers of indirect taxes. With GST implemented, a business premises can show the tax applied in the sales invoice. Customers will know exactly how much tax they are paying on the product they bought or services they consume. As one could imagine, due to the way SST works, we as consumers often find ourselves unwittingly paying double taxes, first at the manufacturing stage and later at the service stage. The GST, which is set to replace the SST, is a transparent tax system that will ultimately benefit the consumers. One of its greatest benefits is the elimination of the possibility of paying double taxes, because the two-pronged tax rates and policies in the SST system will have been replaced by one single GST.
How do you think about GST? Is it bad or good for you?
Well, GST does really burden me at some certain aspect. For example, all the items I bought from supermarket and store now have been charged by 6% GST. But on the other hand, GST does really benefit me at some point. Food and beverage that are sold in McDonald's are charged 4% less than original system that are using service charge that is 10% on the original price. Whereas GST only has a 6% charge on the price now. So I have to pay 4% less from the original price.
Okay, thank you.
As a conclusion, mentioned, different people have different view about GST. Some may say GST is good, and some may say GST is bad. But if all the revenue of GST can is used in the right way, this is really benefit to every single Malaysian. So thank you guys.